Hey there, let's delve into the intricacies of borderline personality disorder, BPD, a condition that profoundly impacts individuals' lives. To guide us through this exploration, we'll be focusing on the 9 key traits of BPD. I'll walk you through each trait in detail, offering insights and explanations along the way. But before we dive in, let me set the stage. Borderline personality disorder is characterized by instability and impulsivity across various facets of life. This instability manifests in relationships, moods, behavior, and even one's sense of self. Imagine living in a world where everything feels like it's in constant flux, where even the slightest perceived abandonment triggers intense fear and emotional turmoil. So, buckle up as we embark on this journey to unravel the mysteries of borderline personality disorder, gaining a deeper understanding of its impact and the strategies for managing its challenges. Let's get started. 1. Fear of abandonment. Alright, let's dive into the first trait, fear of abandonment. Picture this, you're constantly on edge, always feeling like the people in your life are about to bail on you. Even the slightest sign of someone pulling away sends you into a tailspin of anxiety. It's like living in a constant state of fear, never knowing when the people you care about will decide to leave. And here's the kicker. Sometimes, it's not even based on reality. You could be having a perfectly normal conversation, and suddenly, you're convinced they're planning their escape. It's exhausting, both for you and the people around you. And the worst part? Your fear of abandonment can end up pushing people away, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's why therapy focuses on helping you build more stable relationships and learning to manage those intense feelings of insecurity. 2. Unstable and intense interpersonal relationships. Now, let's talk about unstable and intense interpersonal relationships. You know those roller coaster friendships or romances where everything starts off great, but then it's like you're constantly teetering on the edge of a blow-up? That's what it's like for someone with BPD. Every interaction feels like it's on the brink of exploding into chaos. One minute, you're best friends, and the next, you're in the middle of a screaming match. It's like you're always walking on eggshells, never knowing when things are going to go off the rails, and it's not just romantic relationships. This instability can show up in any close connection, whether it's with family, friends, or even coworkers. That's why therapy works on improving communication skills and building healthier boundaries, so you can navigate relationships more smoothly. 3. Identity disturbance. Let's talk about identity disturbance. Imagine waking up every day not really sure who you are or where you fit in the world. That's what it's like for someone with BPD. Your sense of self is like a puzzle with missing pieces. You're constantly trying to figure out who you are and what you believe in, and it's not just about your personality. It can show up in your appearance, your interests, even your values. One day, you might be totally into something, and the next, you're on to the next big thing. It's like you're constantly reinventing yourself, trying to find a version that feels right. But the problem is, you never quite feel settled. That's why therapy focuses on helping you build a stronger sense of self and learn to embrace your identity, quirks and all. 4. Impulsivity. Alright, let's talk about impulsivity. You know those moments where you just act without thinking, like blowing your paycheck on a shopping spree or hooking up with a stranger on a whim? Yeah, that's what it's like for someone with BPD. It's like your brain has a glitch that makes you jump into risky or self-destructive behaviors without considering the consequences. And it's not just a one-time thing. It can be a pattern that shows up in all areas of your life, from relationships to finances to substance use. It's like you're constantly seeking out thrills or distractions to numb the pain or fill that emptiness inside. But here's the thing. Those impulsive decisions often end up making things worse, creating even more chaos and instability. That's why therapy focuses on helping you develop healthier coping mechanisms and learn to pause and think before you act. 5. Recurrent suicidal behavior. Now, let's talk about recurrent suicidal behavior. This one's a heavy topic, but it's important to address. Imagine feeling so overwhelmed by emotional pain that you see no way out other than ending your own life. That's what it's like for someone with BPD. Suicide attempts can be a way of coping with intense emotional distress or a desperate attempt to avoid feelings of abandonment. And it's not just a one-time thing, it can become a pattern, with each attempt reinforcing the belief that life isn't worth living. But here's the thing. Suicide attempts are a cry for help, a sign that someone is in serious pain and needs support. That's why therapy focuses on providing a safe space to explore those feelings and develop healthier ways of coping. It's about learning to find hope and purpose in life, even in the darkest of times. 6. Affective instability. Alright, let's delve into affective instability. Picture this. Your emotions are like a roller coaster ride, with highs and lows that change at the drop of a hat. One moment, you're on top of the world, and the next, you're plunged into the depths of despair. It's like your feelings have a mind of their own, and you're just along for the ride. And here's the kicker. It's not just about feeling sad or happy. It's about feeling everything intensely, from anger to joy to sadness. It's like your emotional volume dial is stuck on max, and you can't seem to turn it down. That's why therapy focuses on helping you learn to regulate your emotions and ride out the ups and downs without getting overwhelmed. 7. Chronic feelings of emptiness. Now, let's talk about chronic feelings of emptiness. Imagine waking up every day with a gnawing sense of emptiness inside. Like there's a hole in your soul that can never be filled. That's what it's like for someone with BPD. No matter what you do or how much you achieve, it never seems to make a difference. You're still left feeling hollow and alone. And it's not just a fleeting feeling, it's a pervasive sense of existential despair that colors every aspect of your life. You try to fill the void with distractions or relationships or substances, but nothing ever seems to stick. It's like you're constantly searching for something to numb the pain, but nothing ever quite hits the mark. That's why therapy focuses on helping you explore those feelings of emptiness and find healthier ways to cope. It's about learning to find meaning and fulfillment from within, rather than relying on external sources to validate your worth. 8. Inappropriate and intense anger. Alright, let's talk about inappropriate and intense anger. Picture this. You're like a pressure cooker, constantly simmering with rage that's just waiting to boil over at the slightest provocation. It's like your emotions are dialed up to 11, and you can't seem to rein them in. And here's the thing, it's not just about feeling angry, it's about exploding in a fit of rage that's way out of proportion to the situation. It's like you're a volcano that's about to erupt, and everyone around you is walking on eggshells, afraid to set you off. And it's not just a one-time thing, it's a pattern that repeats itself over and over again, leaving a trail of broken relationships and hurt feelings in its wake. That's why therapy focuses on helping you learn to express your anger in healthier ways and develop coping strategies to manage those intense emotions. It's about learning to defuse the bomb before it explodes, rather than letting it destroy everything in its path. 9. Transient stress-induced paranoid ideation or severe dissociation. Now, let's talk about transient stress-induced paranoid ideation or severe dissociation. Imagine being so overwhelmed by stress that you start to lose touch with reality. It's like your mind is playing tricks on you, filling your head with paranoid thoughts and delusions that you can't shake. You start to see danger lurking around every corner, convinced that everyone is out to get you. And it's not just a fleeting feeling, it's a full-blown break from reality that leaves you feeling terrified and alone. You may even start to hear voices or experience hallucinations that further feed into your paranoia. It's like you're trapped in a nightmare that you can't wake up from, with no escape in sight. That's why therapy focuses on helping you ground yourself in reality and develop coping strategies to manage those overwhelming feelings of fear and anxiety. It's about learning to distinguish between what's real and what's not, so you can regain control over your mind and your life. In conclusion, borderline personality disorder is a complex and challenging condition that affects millions of people around the world. But with the right support and treatment, it is possible to manage the symptoms and live a fulfilling life. Therapy, particularly dialectical behavior therapy, has been shown to be effective in helping individuals with BPD learn to regulate their emotions, improve their relationships, and develop healthier coping strategies. It's also important for loved ones to educate themselves about the disorder and provide understanding and support to those who are struggling. By working together, we can break down the stigma surrounding BPD and ensure that everyone affected by this condition gets the help and support they need to thrive. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share our channel to your loved ones. Stay blessed and irresistible.